What is up guys, I hope everyone is doing well. Today we will be doing the very first build guide as part of the UNILAD Tech series, and if you don't know what that is, I will leave the announcement linked down below so you can go ahead and catch up. So today we are going to go ahead and build the budget build from the series, and from there we will work our way up. So just let me refresh your memory on exactly what parts we will be using in this build. Okay, so first of all, for the processor we have the Intel i3 7300, and we will be pairing this up with the Asus Prime B250M Plus motherboard. For the power supply we will be utilising a 400 watt Cooler Master Master Watt Lite, and for the graphics card we have the Asus GTX 1050Ti Expedition. We have 8GB of HyperX Fury DDR4 RAM, the Cooler Master Hyper TX3 Evo cooler, and we are building inside the Cooler Master Masterbox Lite 3. So first of all, just before we start the build guide, I would like to thank all the sponsors for choosing the parts and putting this series together, and that is of course box.co.uk, Cooler Master, and of course Asus for helping with all the parts, and you will find all the links down below to all the parts that you will need to put this system together if you wish to buy it as a full system already pre-built, or you can go ahead and follow this build guide and do it yourself, which is something I definitely recommend, as building a PC is a pretty awesome experience. So with that said, let's jump in and start the build guide. So building a PC isn't as hard as you think. All you need in terms of tools is a Phillips head screwdriver and an awesome knife for opening all your boxes. The first step I always take is to prepare the motherboard before putting it inside the case. So first of all, we will install our processor. Just make sure you hold the processor at the sides and don't get your greasy fingerprints all over it. If you take a close look at the socket, you will see a triangle on the cover, and the same triangle can be found on the processor itself, so of course we are going to go ahead and match them up. So let's go ahead and install it. Press down on the retention arm and pull it slightly to the right and lift upwards. Next, carefully set the processor in the socket. No force is needed at all here. Next, close the little latch back over and press down on the retention arm and lock it back into place. The cover will then pop off and you can go ahead and put this back in the box for safekeeping. Next, we are going to insert our RAM. Take note of the little notch on the RAM stick itself, as we will be matching this up with the same notch on the DIMM slot. Next, press down on the DIMM slot latches to open the slot, and from there we can go ahead and seat our RAM sticks. Match the slots up and press down with some force until they click into place and you are good to go. Next step is to prepare our cooler for the CPU. To make it easier, take these parts out of the box. You will need the 4 arms and the 8 screws. If you take a closer look at the arms, you will see that there are 3 holes to choose from, and we will be utilising the middle for this build. Also, take note of the left and right symbols to make sure that you attach the correct sides. From there, just screw the arms into place until you have all 4 installed, and you should have something that looks like this. Now, before we go ahead and install it, make sure that you remove the plastic protection label from the cooler or you are going to have serious problems. Next, we will go ahead and apply some thermal paste to the CPU. This is included with the cooler. Just apply around a pea-sized amount to the middle and you should be absolutely fine. Now it's time to go ahead and install the cooler. Just make sure that it is the right way around, as the fan should be over the RAM slots blowing out of the rear, just like you see here. Now all you have to do is line up the pegs with the holes on the motherboard and seat it on top of the CPU. From there, press down and secure the pegs in place. Last thing to do is to go ahead and attach the fan header to the motherboard, and as you can see it is a white header on this board, so very easy to locate, so go ahead and plug it in. So now that our motherboard is all prepared, you should have something that looks like this. So next on the agenda is to prepare the case. The Masterbox Lite has no front intake fans included, so I suggest you at least buy one. To install the fans, just pull the front fascia off the case. From there you can install your fans by simply screwing them into the provided mounting holes, and I used 2 120mm fans that I had laying around. When the fans are installed, you can go ahead and put the magnetic dust filter, which is included, in place, and then simply reattach the fascia again by pressing it into the case. Now what we want to do is install our I/O shield that you will find in your motherboard box. Make sure it is the correct way around, as you can see here, and press it into place. It does take a little force, so just make sure all of the corners are in place. The last step before putting the motherboard in is to take the standoffs that come in the brown box of the case, and they look something like this, and screw them down by hand into the case on all of the mounting holes. Next we are going to take our motherboard, and definitely do not hold it by the cooler like I am doing here, and lay it in place. Now it's time to secure it in place, so take the motherboard screws that look like this and get to work. The best way to do this is to work in a crisscross pattern just to make sure that you don't flex the motherboard, so put one up top and one down bottom, etc. until you have all the holes covered. So now it's time to go ahead and install the power supply. On this case it is installed up top, so put it in place as you see here. Next you will want to screw it in place using the 4 included screws. Just make sure it is a nice and tight fit to ensure it doesn't fall. So now what I do from here is connect my case fans to the motherboard. Simply take the cables from the fans and plug it into the header that is labelled CHA fan, like you see here, and just make sure to route your fan cables nice and clean so that they are not all over the place. So now it's time to start wiring everything else. First of all, grab the cable that looks like this from the power supply, and we are going to utilise just one 4-pin connector in this instance to power our CPU. Route this cable as neat as possible and plug it into the header that you see here. Next we need to give the motherboard power, so take the 24-pin connector from the power supply that you can see here and plug it into your motherboard. Again, make sure that you route this cable as neatly as possible to ensure the build looks nice and tidy. The next cable that I plug in is the front panel USB 3.0. This plugs in just before the 24 pin. Just make sure to line up the notches correctly or it won't go in. From there, go ahead and plug your HD audio cable into the header that you can see here. Now for the fun part. Take the rest of the front panel I/O cables that you can see here and plug them into the pins located on the bottom of the board. They are all labelled nice and clearly, just make sure to take your time, and if you have big hands, maybe ask for some help. Now we are going to go ahead and install our hard drive into the cage provided. It will slide in easy enough, and from there screw it into place with the included screws and washers just to keep it secure. To power the hard drive, take this cable from the power supply that you see and plug it in. It only goes in one way, so just line it up. Next, grab a SATA cable, plug one end into the hard drive and the other end connects into the SATA port on your motherboard that you can see here. Okay, so the last hurdle is to go ahead and install the graphics card. The first step is to pop out the brackets on the rear. It is a little footery, but just take your time and twist them out of place until you are left with this. Next step is to push down the latch on the first PCIe slot like this, and from there we can install the graphics card. Just line it up and push it into place until it locks in nice and securely. Now we will take the screws that you see here and secure the graphics card in place. It only takes 2 screws, just make sure to support the graphics card while screwing this in just to make sure that it isn't sagging at all. So that's pretty much the PC built now. Just take this time to make sure that all of your cables are tidy and the PC is looking good. Pro tip, you can go ahead and use the spare cage above the hard drive to keep all the cables in and out of view. And honestly, this is what I do to keep everything nice and tidy. Now all that's left to do is put the rear cover and window back on and enjoy peeling off that protection. Okay, so all you have to do now is go ahead and plug your PC in, and if it boots into BIOS and all your hardware is listed, give yourself a pat on the back, you have built your first PC. If not, then what I would do is follow these steps again just to make sure that everything is plugged in securely, or just leave a comment down below and I will try and help you along the way. So of course, you will have to go ahead and install Windows 10 now, and I will be putting a tutorial on the channel this week to show you guys how to do it. It is very basic and there are loads of tutorials on YouTube already, but I will go ahead and put one up for you. So if you want to go ahead and build this system yourself, all the links are down below in the description for box.co.uk. They do give you the option of buying all the parts or buying it pre-built, so you can go ahead and do whatever you feel, but I suggest that you try and build it yourself, as it's definitely a good learning experience. So that pretty much rounds it up, guys. As always, thank you to Cooler Master and Asus, and of course Box, for putting this together. And if you have any questions, let me know down below and I will definitely get back to you. Stay safe, be kind to each other, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.